Hey guys, so I know that I initially started this channel just to kind of really like have a safe place to talk about like plus size problems, or just to kind of give each other tips and tricks and just really kind of be a motivator and a confident booster for one another. So today I just thought I would talk about my insecurities and kind of break the barrier for that, because it doesn't matter what size you are, you have insecurities. So with talking about that, I just thought that it would give, kind of just break the ice for everyone to maybe be more open about struggles that you have. So with this video talking about insecurities, I do want it to be a positive video. I don't want to be like, oh my gosh, I have so many insecurities, my life is terrible. Like, that's not really my goal with this. So I really want to talk about insecurities in a more positive way and just kind of let you guys know, the things that I struggle with and ways that I, try to cope with the fact of being insecure about certain aspects of my life. So, and what works for me may not work for you, or maybe, you just really want to know other ways to kind of cope with things. And if you need to message me or want to message me, I don't mind helping you out or just kind of giving you some ideas. So with that being said, I am going to talk about my physical insecurities, my personal insecurities, such as like not really like physical things that like more personal things that have nothing to do with like your looks and things like that. And then like career insecurities or professional insecurities with, aspects of your life. Because I feel like everyone probably struggles with those three aspects of your life the most. Like, there's probably some kind of encounter at some point that you have insecurities with: physical insecurities, personal insecurities that you're going through that no one else may know that you're going through, or you may be insecure with your job or kind of like lost with your career and things like that. So I thought I would talk about those insecurities that I have with those aspects. So just to jump right in there, physical insecurities that I have are, I have always had really, really big thighs. No matter what size I've been. In high school, I think I weighed 160 and I was like a size 10, 12. And I am just bottom heavy. I've always been bottom heavy. I know I used to be so obsessed with working out, and I would have this vision in my head of one day my thighs are going to be this size. And in reality, my thighs will never, ever, ever be skinny. Like, I have a big, huge butt. Like, I'm not going to have the thighs of a girl that's a size like 5. Like, I would probably not look good if I ever got down that skinny. I just really don't think I have the bone structure for that. But that's probably the biggest physical thing that I don't like about myself, and that I am really insecure about. Another thing that I'm really insecure about is people will always tell me that they're really intimidated by me. And I don't know if it's maybe the way I talk, maybe the way I look. I know I have a strong personality, so I know that, that can be a little intimidating with some people, but I really feel like once you get to know me, I'm pretty easygoing. I mean, if you cross my wrong side, I probably won't be mean to you now. I just won't involve you in my life, which I don't really know if that's a good thing, but that's kind of how I handle it now. But one thing with that, with people being so scared or intimidated by me, I feel like it's because sometimes I get this in my head that I look manly. And I know that people are probably like, what the hell? Why does she think that? But I really do. I feel like because I'm so broad and I'm more like big boned, I guess. That's what my parents used to tell me whenever I was young. You're not fat, you're big boned. Oh, those days. But yeah, like sometimes I get really insecure and think I'm like too masculine or manly for a woman. And yeah, those are like the two biggest physical insecurities that I have. And ways that I've tried to cope with that is, I'm 27 now, and I still feel like I'm really young. I still feel like I'm 20, 22 years old on the inside. I mean, but I have really, really tried to have the mindset of, you know what, as long as I'm healthy, that's what matters. You know, it doesn't really, as long as you're happy with yourself and you're healthy, that really is my goal in my head. And you know, I'll never have skinny thighs, and I need to embrace my thighs and embrace that I'm thick. And you know what, you can feel good about yourself, and even though you don't have that vision of a picture perfect body in your head, I really have tried to just like train my brain to think that, you know what, this is the body that I have, and this is what I am going to embrace, and this is who I will be. And I mean, I don't feel unhealthy. I don't always look in the mirror and think bad things of myself. So I just really try to be like, you know what, this is me, and I'm going to represent my body type just like someone else needs to represent their body type. So I really have tried to train my brain to think that, you know what, I just need to be happy and proud of who I am. And then I also will follow other women that are really confident in who they are. And you know, I find that as motivation. When I see someone else being confident and proud, I almost feel like it's contagious. Like, I admire and get inspired by other people that are just confident in who they are, or confident with what life has thrown at them, and they just still push through, and they're like, yep, here I am, I'm the poo, what about it? So that's really the mindset that I've tried to have. And I do work out. I mean, used to, I wouldn't like to tell people that I worked out, because I used to think that, oh, well, you have to look a certain way to like really be like, yeah, I work out. Who cares? I work out because I like to work out. I love to jam and listen to my music and work out. I always have, and I always will. And you know what? I don't have to be a size 5 or a size 2 or a size 10 or whatever to feel good about working out. Working out makes me happy. If working out makes me feel accomplished. So that's another way that I'm embracing my thighs and stuff. You know what? Who cares? I can have thick thighs and work out. I feel good. As long as I feel good when I leave the gym, that's what matters. The manly thing, I don't know if I have come up with a solution to that yet. I know that there's like self-growth things that I could do to improve people being intimidated by me, but at the same time, if it means that I have to compromise who I am to make those people happy, probably not going to do it. Sorry, not sorry. I have tried to tell myself that just because I have met a couple of people that I have actually been intimidated by, as far as like a woman standpoint. I don't really get intimidated by a lot of people, but when I do, it's like, oh my gosh, if this is how people feel about me, like I really want to go up to them and just be like, hey, yo, don't be intimidated by me. Like, you're stressing yourself out for nothing. But so I try to keep that in mind whenever like I'm intimidated by someone. Like, why am I intimidated by this person? Blah, 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 blah. So I try to just tell myself that maybe it's just my personality. Maybe it is because I'm assertive. Maybe it is because of some other reason other than being manly. But at the same time, I do still have those moments where I'm like, oh, they're scared of me because I look like a man. I don't even know why. That's sometimes the first thing that pops in my head. So I really have tried to work on just pushing that to the side, because it probably really is ridiculous talk, but you know, whatever. So that's one physical thing that I'm still really working on, as far as like insecurity goes and stuff. So yeah, so because I feel like I dress girly, and you know, I feel like I'm girly. I do feel like I could kick some ass if I wanted to, but I don't really want to. I haven't really wanted to kick ass in a really long time, but I mean, you know, so I don't really feel like I'm manly, or you know, whatever. So I'm still working on that one. I just try to push that to the side when people say they're intimidated by me. Did I say bite or by? Intimidated by me. I just kind of look at it as, well, maybe I just need to be a little softer. I do have a tone. I don't really feel like I have a warm and fuzzy voice, so I do try to just kind of work on that, and you know, maybe think to myself, maybe I just don't need to be as assertive, or maybe they haven't been around someone that assertive like me, and maybe I just need to let them know that assertive people can be nice and friendly too. So that's my physical insecurities. Personal insecurities that I have are, the biggest one that I have had, and I've had it probably for like the past, I would say 10 years, is, well, I'm kidding, probably like the last 5 years, but it kind of is in conjunction or in correlation of like the past 10 years of my life, is the fact that in high school, you know, I did go down a pretty dark path at one point in time. You know, I had a lot of personal stuff I was dealing with at home, and I just was an angry person, and I have reasons behind that anger. I'm not going to go into necessarily that, maybe down the road, but I was just an angry person. I didn't care about myself. I didn't care about anybody around me. I just was angry, and I really lashed out. I had a terrible attitude, and you know, I didn't care about myself, so I didn't really care how I presented myself. And then fast forward to now, I still feel like some people from my hometown really do see me as that 16, 17-year-old brat, even though I've grown tremendously from that. Because I have had some people, even from my attitude 5 years ago, 5-6 years ago, I still, you know, was kind of an angry person, lost, didn't really know who I was and things like that. And you know, I have had people, I had one person in particular tell me that, you know, they would never be able to start over on a clean slate with me because of something that happened 5 years ago. And it used to really bother me, and I used to have this sense of, you know what, well, I'm going to prove to them that I am a good person and that I'm not that person I used to be. And you know what, I would say I really pushed those feelings and that way of thinking to the side like a year ago. So I really haven't had this like the positiveness that I'm about to tell you about, but maybe like a year. But I really did. I used to like want to prove to people that, you know what, I'm going to show them that I am an awesome person and that I have overcome my struggles and I've done personal growth and things like that, and just so they'll like me. Now, I don't think like that. No. Because if people are going to sit there and judge you if you have a bad past, or if you did something and then feel that sense of, oh, well, I have to prove to them that, yeah, I made that really bad mistake, but now, you know, I'm going to show them who I am today. Seriously, throw that mindset out the freaking window, because it is absurd, and you do not have to prove yourself to anybody. And if you do something wrong to people, or if you do have a crappy attitude sometimes, own up to it, apologize, don't beat yourself up over it, because it happens. So don't beat yourself up over it. Like, I just have had the mindset that, you know what, I have to forgive myself. I have to have personal growth for myself, and I do that by reading books, following people, praying, you know, really trying to, I've had to like retrain my brain to not be my angry old self, angry old dramatic self, to like the new person that I am today. And it is hard work. You know, you do have to do a lot of self-help things and read books and, you know, talk to people. And really, honestly, another thing is not surrounding yourself around toxic people. And sometimes those toxic people wear a really good mask. But you know what? I can't help who I was 5 to 10 years ago. I realized my flaws from it, and I have grown from it, and I'm just trying to strive to be a better me. And if those people don't want to, you know, involve themselves around me and things like that, it's better off. I mean, because when you think about it, those people that you're like, oh man, I'm going to really prove to them that I'm a better person and that I have changed and that I'm not that old person anymore. Are they really people that you want to be around? I mean, honestly, no. No. So you just kind of have to just push through that and be like, whatever, you know, apologize to them. If they forgive you, that is fabulous. If they don't forgive you and they don't see you for the person that they are today, then that is someone that you do not need in your life ever, probably. So that's like a personal thing that I struggle with. And some self-help books, if you know, if you're interested, I can leave it in the description below of books that I've read over the course of probably about almost 3 years now that have really helped just push me to being really the person that I've wanted to be. So yeah. And then last but not least will be business and professional / career insecurities. You know, I have taken a leap of becoming my own boss and really striving hard to be a photographer full time. And so I'm an entrepreneur right now. That's kind of what I say. Like I'm photographer, entrepreneur, things like that. And it's not because I hated being a dental assistant. I was a dental assistant for 4 years and I love dentistry. Like if I had to go back, you know, one day and be a dental assistant for the rest of my life, I really do enjoy it. It's just, I really do like it. But the satisfaction I get with being my own boss, it's like that feeling you get when, okay, when you go and you pick out your wedding dress, you know when you have the dress. You don't want to take it off. You're picturing yourself walking down the aisle and people being like, oh, she looks so pretty. You know when you got the dress. Just like when you buy your first house. Like with this house that Brandon and I bought, we knew it was the house. He walked in before I got to, we come and looked at the house on the outside prior to actually a realtor taking us to look at the house, and he looked in it. He's like, you know, I want you to see it. I have a good feeling about it. I walked through it and he's like, I'm ready to make an offer. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. Like, I think this is the house. Like, I feel really good about it. I feel like it's what we're supposed to do. You know, I feel like it's all in God's plan. So let's do it. That feeling you get, that's the feeling I have with being my own boss. Like, I feel like I'm going to be able to grow and really be professionally who I'm supposed to be with being my own boss. And one thing that I really enjoy about photography is the creativity of it. Creativity of photography. I love taking pictures. I've always, you know, I'm the person that I'll print off every picture. I just transferred 800 and something photos from my iPhone today to my computer, and I'm probably going to print every single one of them off and put them in a photo album, just because pictures really do tell a story. The whole 7 years my husband and I have been together, I have a scrapbook for every single year that we've been together, because I want to look back when we're old, sitting on the front porch being like, oh my gosh, do you remember this time in this picture, blah 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 blah, because I usually can, like, I attach memories to these pictures. So, and with photography, you can grow at your own pace. You don't have a corporation holding you back, telling you, oh well, you can't move on to that step yet, you have to stay here. Even though you're like, why? I don't want to. So you can grow and learn at your own pace. And there's guidelines, I feel like, with photography, but they're guidelines. They're not rules. They're not, you have to stick to this. You can have your own style. You can be who you want to be. Like, so I feel like with being your own boss and being a photographer, it's like a perfect fit for me. I love taking photos. I love the sentimental aspect of being a photographer and capturing those photos. And you get to be creative. You get to really be yourself. So absolutely love my husband. I don't know if you can tell on Facebook or wherever how much I love my husband. It's not a facade. It is for real. I love my husband. I love him. He is so supportive. He has supported me through everything. He has helped me be the person that I am today. I just love him. And, you know, when I really told him my passion and stuff, he was like, you're really good at it, and I really think that if you want to really try to do that, then you need to do it, and you have my full support. You know, I want you to look back and say, well, at least I tried. There are insecurities that do come with being your own boss and being an entrepreneur that I never thought. How many people look at like a principal or the president of something or the boss or whatever, and you're like, man, they got it made. They're at the top of the chain. They have it made. They have no worries. Oh my gosh. That illusion is absurd. I feel like when you are your own boss, you have so many worries that can come about sometimes. And, you know, I do have a worry. My insecurities with that is failing. Do I look stupid? Am I even really good at photography? Why am I doing this? Oh gosh, it goes on and on and on and on and on sometimes. Like, and I feel like when you start really worrying, it's like when it rains, it really does pour. And I feel like the devil just kind of adheres to that and really tries to bring you down even further. And just tries to tell you, like, yeah, why are you doing this? You know, people probably do think you're stupid. People probably do think that your work isn't good. People probably do think that, you know, whatever. But I really do, ways that I try to break that barrier down is the fact that I really do feel like hard work pays off. Like if your heart and soul is into something and your blood, sweat, and tears is into something, your hard work really will pay off. As long as you're genuine, as long as you have a good heart about it, as long as you're moral, I really wholeheartedly think, I have the faith that hard work pays off. Like when it rains, when it's a raining and pouring situation, I don't even know if that makes sense, but if it's a raining, pouring situation, I feel like that is the hardest time to pray, because I feel like the devil tries every way in the world to get you to not pray. And you just gotta keep pushing, keep praying, keep praying. Because every time I get those feelings of worry, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is never gonna end. But it always does. It always ends. So praying is one way that I really do try to just push that barrier and just tell myself, like, I'm doing this with God. Like, because God has a plan. And if you just have your heart and soul into something and you know you're doing it for God and you know you're doing what you're supposed to be doing for God, then it will happen. The devil tries to hold me back a lot of times from doing it, but I still try to do it. And again, books are, I don't know, like motivational books is like my thing. Like everyone has the books, specific books they read. I like to read books about being an entrepreneur, aspects of leadership, about that. I do have a support system, my husband and my best friend. And you know, a lot of times, like when I'm down, when you got people that truly have your back, it is such a wonderful thing. And I have two best friends, and one's my husband and one's my best friend. And she's like family to me. Like when I look at her, like I don't see water, I see blood. Like she's like my sister. And she's the closest family member I have. Like the closest person that I consider family is not my blood. And those two people right there, when you have a solid support system, people out there that have that solid, true, genuine, loyal support system, you know what I'm talking about. Those two people have my back no matter what. I have their back no matter what. So whenever I feel down about my business and stuff and think that, like, you know, why am I doing this? I look stupid. I look like a failure. I'm gonna fail, blah, 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 blah. They always pick me up, and I'm so, so thankful for that. Like they really are such a blessing in my life, and I couldn't be more thankful to have them. And so that's pretty much what I do to try to just break through the insecurities, because no matter what, I had such a good mindset in September with my business, in October with my business, and like halfway through November. And then it was just like, I felt like everything was perfect, everything was going good. You know, I had this mindset of, oh my gosh, being your own boss is so peachy keen. You have no worries, peace, love, and happiness, and you just get to do whatever and never stress. And it's like, boom, it hit. And I got really insecure and was questioning my why. But you know what? Set a why for yourself. Tell yourself, why am I doing this? And remember your why. Keep pushing through your personal insecurities, your physical insecurities, and just really be happy with yourself, because that's what's going to make you happy. Live life and be happy. So, that's my thoughts. If you like the video, like I said, give it a thumbs up and subscribe and comment and follow my social media stuff, and I will see you next time. Bye.